I'm unbeatable. I can't be beaten. It's impossible. You condemn me. You can damage me. You're never ever going to beat me.
You've made no progress. None.
Get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work.
I don't care what you're going to do, but go out there, make something of yourself for God's sake.
Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing.
So what's your fucking excuse? Life's one big fucking head game. You're losing.
Fuck your motivation. Fuck your motivation. You need discipline. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do.
Learn to perform without motivation.
When the alarm clock goes off in the morning, get up. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. When the alarm clock goes off in the morning, get up.
Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit.
Fuck yeah, today I feel good. I can't wait to get to the gym. A lot of days like, gotta get to the gym.
You're a fat piece of shit, and that's the reality. You ain't doing shit.
Do something about it. Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps the goal alive and in sight and in focus.
Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't?
Don't wait until you're fucking dead to figure out why you died. Do it while you are living.
You have to learn how to get up and do shit when you ain't got no fucking 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life fucking sucks. Go in there, go into the suffering, go into the pain of your life and say, why did this suck for me so bad? Why am I afraid of all this stuff? You have no fucking idea how great you really are. Because you are using such minimal of what you have.
The struggle is real. It never gets any easier. You gotta get harder.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next month. But only one thing is true. I will be champion one day, I promise. I promise.
We did not come this far to just break down and lose now. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
You talk about performance without a purpose. What's that?
So, like, for instance, let's say you have no races. Let's say you have no classes, no nothing. There's no purpose in your life. You know, people need to have purpose to get up. They need purpose to perform. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing on the docket. There's no 5K. There's no I'm going to get into school to be this or that and still perform to the highest level. Because what people don't get is one day that thing's going to come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us. Because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself.
I'm a hard worker. I was never great at anything, like as a kid. I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the smartest, but I did know that I could work hard. I had to work hard. And I listened to people. I didn't think I knew everything. Even sometimes I'll joke about, when you're young and arrogant. Even when I was young and arrogant, like we all are when we're 23 years old or 22 years old and you're young, you think you know everything. Even then, I always had that little you don't know everything. And I think that humility played a big role in me being able to be successful, because I was never afraid to say, hey, I'm not 100% sure what to do right now. What do you guys think? Or, hey, I feel like I've reached the limitations of my thought process. I need some help. And so I think that's one of the main reasons that I was able to to do a good job.
So every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world. So that's like my cup of coffee. And I'm all about armoring yourself. So the second you leave your house, and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that shit, you are now letting in poison and cancer. So I make sure a lot of things you can't avoid. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, now look at that phone, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late, I'm not rushing around, I'm not disorganized, because I know I'm gonna get hit in the fucking mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the fucking mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So it starts with that run.
The individual has to evolve. Like, you have to also recreate yourself as you're going through this. The same enemy that drives you when you're 22 years old should not be driving you at 32 years old, or else you haven't matured. You should also out-mature that enemy. And then 32, something else should be driving you, then 42, then 58, then 63, then 75. But you are gonna have those love affair with those enemies. That's a love affair. You had an affair with this enemy over an 8-year span, over a 13-year span, over a 6-year span, over a 6-month span. But, you know, there is truth in the idea of you still being driven by that enemy 18 years after you beat that enemy, 13 years after you beat that enemy.
Everybody else feels, or to me, it always seems like everyone else has got it together. Because I get to see only what you choose to say, only what I'm around you doing that I get to see, whereas I get to observe my own inefficiency and foibles 10,000 times a second, right? I get to watch the texture of my own mind be completely unresponsive and useless. I see every single prideful decision, every single lie that I tell myself, every single time I make a promise and don't keep it. But I don't get to see that from everyone. So I'd always presume, because of this asymmetry, that everybody else had it sorted and I didn't. And it also made me think that everybody else's opinion was this perfectly balanced, well-researched, beautifully, they had me nailed down to a T. And what they were telling me was the truth. They could see something in me that I couldn't. And after a little bit of time and a good bit of building up of self-confidence, I realized that that's not the case. Talking about the thing and doing the thing vie for the same resources, allocate yours appropriately. That's the way it works as well. That's the way that the brain works. You can actually get these kicks of dopamine by telling your friends about, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL, I'm going to start my training next week, it's going to be great, I'm going to feel like this.
It feels good. It feels good to talk about that shit, man. It actually makes you feel good, makes you feel proud, all that shit. But guess what happens? That alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. to train. I don't want to be a SEAL today. I don't want to be whatever today. I'll start tomorrow. And that's the usual pattern of people's lives. That's why I talk about clearing out the mind. Until you really want to do something, you always get be a talker. You always get run your fucking mouth.
There's no combatant, true combatant, that has never gotten to the point where there's nothing left. When there's no physical strength left. When there's no energy left. When there's no speed left. When there's no joy left in that fight. All they have left is the will to get back up again. And they don't know how they're going to pick their fist up. They don't know how they're going to move their feet. They don't know how they're going to take another swing. They don't know if they're going to be able to get up when that next punch hits them in that fight. But that's all they got. So they get up. They get up.
The bigger the wall that you have to get through is, as soon as you get past that one big wall, you then can use that wall as the evidence for why you can jump over the next wall, because that will be the biggest one.
But where do you go to? You wake up on a morning, it's cold, it's wet, it's dark, you've got no cartilage in your knee, you've got shitty shorts, whatever it is that's the issue today.
Keep talking.
You've got these problems, right?
I need you to keep talking about what you were just saying.
It's warm on the couch. Your missus says stay in bed. It's comfy, it's cozy. You've got work later on. You had an argument last night. You're slightly hungover.
Because I know every motherfucker ain't going to do what I'm going to do. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That makes me fucking happy what you just said.
that brings joy to my life right there.
Why?
Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage.
See, in your life, everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what. Because God is always coming. He's never too late. At your worst moment, look man, when they told me I had to be in New York, I saw no way I could get there. But that God don't. He make the phone ring. I end up in Florida, I make $300. Then I go to New York, I make $750. Almost got $1,000 out of nowhere. That's what happened to me. That was my moment of never giving up. That's when I first learned that faith was everything, that you have to remain faithful.
Your eyes, okay, I'm looking at your eyes right now. Your eyes don't tell me a guy that is just doing this to just have fun, okay? Your eyes have a lot of fire in them, okay? A lot of fire in them. Your eyes tell a story of maybe you have a crazy side inside of you, okay? A side that maybe you keep inside, okay? Where very few people maybe see. But that's why you're doing as well as you're doing.
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Emotion brings out a different side. If it can be controlled madness, controlled emotion, it's going to go into a different gear that a normal person's not going to have.
We believe that the biggest obstacle we have to overcome is out there, and many times the call is coming from inside of our own house. I think that the worst enemy that many people have is the voice that's inside of their own head. Now, this voice has probably maybe come from the outside world, but we've now internalized it. You know, we have become our own worst enemy in some regards.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're fucking to become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out. Or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove. Where being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day. And you get off your fucking ass. And you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. But you've never wanted to unwrap it because there's too much fucking pain and commitment. You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it. Until something fucking hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the fucking spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's gonna happen to somebody no matter what, it's gonna happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. Superior, man. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they were willing to work their fucking ass off to get it. It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It was about the perseverance. And it was about being the hardest fucking worker in the room. That's what got them there. And it didn't happen overnight. They got knocked down more than they ever stood up. But they kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going, because what else is the alternative? To be average again. That sucks, man. And it really sucks when you've tasted success at one point in your life. When you have sex with a woman and it's the best sex ever, you want to have sex with her again. When you eat a fucking great juicy steak, man, you want to have that again. When you go out and you train hard to play baseball and you connect and you hit the winning home run, you want to feel that way again. When you taste these finer things of life, all the pain, all the work, all the sacrifice to get them is well worth it. If anything, it's a small down payment for the price and the reward you got and that feeling. And once felt, how do you ever turn your back on it? Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. Grab a buddy of yours. Say, man, me and you are going to fucking do this together. And you're going to be on my ass if I start slacking. I'm going to be on your ass if I start slacking. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always going to give it my 110 fucking percent. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. That's all that will ever find peace in. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days. If there's potential inside of you, which you know it's there, but you're too scared to tell anyone else about it, and you go on, get older and older and older and older, and the windows of opportunity start to close, and you knew it could have been given birth to, but you never did it, I promise you, it will haunt you. It's a living nightmare, dude. That fact that you had the ability to do something and you're too weak to fucking turn the key and start the engine on it is a greater disappointment and a greater burden to carry than any of this physical sweat equity or pain in the gym or sacrifice. All that is just nothing compared to a life where you're burdened by regret, guys. I hope you guys get what the fuck I'm saying. I'm telling you what, man, once you get it, come on over this side of the fence, you don't see fucking problems anymore, man. You see situations. You see possibilities. And you can't wait to get them started, man. You're like, why did I wait so long to engage? It doesn't matter about the past. It's today. What are we doing today? Or are we going to engage now? And once we engage, we commit. There's no half commitment. There's no quarter commitment. There's no three-quarter. It's full commitment. Once we engage, it's every fucking day we engage. Because that's the better life. And the people you will surround yourself are like-minded. And they're better friends. Friends and family for life, man. They have your back. They're solid individuals doing solid tasks, leaving a solid impact of legacy for other people. That's a fucking solid life, man. It's your option, though. What are you gonna do? Steady, easy go, smooth and steady. That society likes because they don't like too much, abruption or abrasion. Like everything is smooth and steady. Smooth and steady is not the way to be remembered. It's not the way to get to your goals. Life is too fucking short for that shit. It's getting hard right now, Ethan. That should be, a tangible remembrance that you're on the right path. You're on the path of change. You're on the path that is going to lead to someone that you want to be. If it was so easy and everything else, you're on the wrong path, man. That should just wake you up every day. Yes, I'm doing something right. I'm on the right path. Go into these endeavors, these changes, these transformations, knowing it's going to get worse before it gets better. Accept that, welcome that. Just search for that. Because those are the challenges that creates the betterment of who it is at the end. Without those struggles, those pressure plates of life, then there is no molding of the character of who you are into that person. Being a ranger isn't a name. It's a value. You can't go buy it. You gotta earn that shit. In life, if you want to be remembered, you can't go buy that either. You can't be some trust fund baby where mom and dad gave you everything and expect to live a life of fulfillment. No one can give you that satisfaction. You gotta be willing to lose something to gain it. And the process of losing it, the transformation, that process, where you're going for it, That's where you find yourself, man. That's where you really find that you're living. Ethan, that's what you're doing right now, man. You're living. Don't be scared. Don't be thinking it's too hard, man. It's all right. It's never been more right. Don't listen to other people. Their opinions should never value anything in your mind. Those other people really are looking at you, voicing their opinions just because they can't do it themselves. They're weak. And so they're gonna tell you stuff like, dude, I don't know why you're doing that. Why are you putting all that detail up in the ceiling? Why are you doing that? Doing all that stuff because as you grow ahead and you get further and further along, you are broadcasting, shining light on their shortcomings. And they don't like that. They were comfortable until you came along and challenged them indirectly. They won't be so manned up, manly to tell you that though. They won't be that honest. They're gonna tell you, man, you shouldn't be doing all that work. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing it. You do the work, and all of a sudden it's done and polished and it looks great, and then it's not a shortcoming for them. It's a fucking mile long coming. It's whatever you believe in, whatever you're passionate about. You can make that a career. If it's built the right way, if it's built with a belief, what you're doing provides a service, fills a void in society. You know, you do it right, and if you're building furniture, every single thing is built right. That furniture's strong. You know, one day they'll sell it 300 years from now as an antique. It's still there because there's value in it. Because you built it. You created value. And what you created there isn't a duplicate, isn't a copy of something else that's already been in society. Like my website came out for the value of giving back the truth of what the magazines and the commercials and all that bullshit isn't giving you. That you can get the success, but it's not a quick fix. It's a long-term thing that you have to work your ass off for. But when you get the success, you got the world with it. Because up here, we just created. And the body is just a representation of how pure we are up top. You can create all that stuff if you have value. And when you have value, products sell themselves. When I say success, should never speak for itself. Someone that goes around and says, oh yeah, I'm all this and I'm all that and everything else. Well, they just cheapen the accomplishment altogether. If there's anything of value, it will speak for itself. You don't have to talk about it. If you build something, a furniture piece of value, because you believe in the craftsmanship and what this thing is, if you do that right, you value that, then they will grow credibility, just like Nike and Prada and Gucci and all these other fucking companies, Ferrari and shit. You pull up to a valet with a Ferrari, that motherfucker parks that right by the door. You pull into the fucking valet with a bicycle, who knows where the fuck that goes? Because they don't value it. There's a name that doesn't need to be spoken. Ferrari. Whoa. Fucking put it right there so we can keep eyes on it. That's nice. A furniture piece. Value, man. Stands test time. Boom. I like that, man. Hey, that's a great piece of furniture. I'm looking for a coffee. Hey, call this person. Their shit is solid. Hey, you looking great there, Joe. How are you getting in great shape? Hey, I went to this trainer, man. He fucking was with me every step of the way. We're friends now. He's part of my family, man. I'm in great shape. My whole life I owe to him. I fucking value, not money. Create the value. You no longer have to worry about the money. It comes, man. People start talking, word of mouth. Success speaks for itself. Credibility. That's who you are. That's how you walk every day. In the storms of life and the sunshine of life. You believe in something. You're not looking to get the prize today. You believe the journey is a worthy cause and it's a winnable fight. So winnable that you're not going to do that job even though you could use that $1,000. At the end, it's going to rob you more than it's ever going to pay you. I can't do that. It doesn't fit my module. Because before I start the endeavor, I built a mission plan of success on what will get me there. And that motherfucker doesn't fit into it. Fuck you and your jeans. You think I wear those jeans anymore, by the way? Fuck no. Because they lost value to me. See how fast that happens? $1 bill and $100 bill made on the same material substance. The raw materials are worth the fucking same. But one is worth more than the other. Perception of that value. Perception is easily destroyed. That's why when you train a client, you give it all you have, because that can be an asset or a detriment to your company. You fuck them over, don't give them the love or the true information of what you know, because you've already done it for once, you've walked it. So what you are, the subject matter expert, and what you're saying to them, you're not plagiarizing some shit or coming up with something that you've read. You've actually walked it and proven it, battle tested. So what you're telling them, if you don't do that for them, then they go around and start telling people what a fucking joke you are. Nike wants to hire you for that thing, but no, a fucking picture of your dick popping out with a fucking Viagra pill or some shit comes. Oh, lost second. You must see the future. And the future starts today in the way we act. The small nuances when no one's looking. The character that's so lost in society must exist in the individual. And you go after something you believe. And then you never work. You never work a day in your life. You just do what you love.
Without pressure, there is no change. And if you contaminate yourself, that pressure will cause your worst fears to be not motivation and encouragement, but be the demise of what your efforts and potential could be. You're feeling it right now, Jasper, in high school. I'm feeling it right now. You know, I mean, I put this site up there and do magazine covers and this and that, or acting or commercials and stuff, and try to preach, you know, what I feel is correct, what's helped me. You know, like when I feel all that external pressure around me, you know, I go to the gym to create an explosion of internal pressure to push the motherfuckers away. That's my bedrock, man. That's why I go to the gym, not for the vanity of the mirror, but for the sense of pride and confidence to nourish the garden and make sure that soil always remains fertile. That's what my love is. The byproduct of that is a good looking, you know, healthy lifestyle, you know, someone's in shape and everything else. But that's not what my goal is. That's not my vision. That's not my motivation. That's not the fear that's causing the encouragement to be in the gym. Hell no, but even with that, I preach what I want. I can go online on the internet anytime I feel pretty high about myself, feeling good, feeling like things are going well. I can go on the internet within 5 minutes, find haters out there that are just fucking beating the shit out of me, telling me this, telling me that. You know, these fucking keyboard fucking, you know, heroes. Ones that stand behind a fucking computer screen because they don't have the fucking nuts to actually do it in life. So they sit here and they type their fucking opinion as if I care about their fucking opinion. These people that are these keyboard rangers, right? They've never seen the crowd from the view of the field. No, they've never taken a breath of the arena air that's mixed with anxiety and pressure to know what it feels like when butterflies are killing them. They've never gone out on that limb of life, holding by a thread, but still believing in the cause, and made that leap of faith that made the change in their life. They're too weak to even walk that limb, but they're gonna sit there and point their finger at me. They're gonna start telling me different things, and I'm supposed to fucking listen to their fucking opinion? Are you kidding me? They can go fuck themselves. There's a million of them. Success is first found with hatred before ever inspiration. Because you're parallel with these fucking losers when you're first starting out. And you start to climb. And it makes them feel like shit because they are who they fucking are. And now all of a sudden, you're basically, without saying a word, letting them know how weak they are, how strong you are. So therefore, they're sitting there and they're hating you for it. But as you keep climbing, then no longer can they defute the truth. And then they jump on board and look at you for motivation to try to pull out of that hole. Always met with hatred before inspiration, success. You're always on your own. And as Bob Marley said, the real truth of life, the only truth is that everyone will hurt you. It's your choice to choose who's worth suffering for.